What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I want to give a major shout out to everybody who came by the podcast yesterday. Sorry for the late upload, or the late start. Sorry. I came back from the recruiting station and vice versa. I had a busy day yesterday, so I'm thinking about going to the Army. So I appreciate everybody who came by and bear with us. We had a blast talking to everybody. And obviously we got the name. The big name was revealed. It was the Truth Network podcast. I know Ace Combat's going to love that. So when he comes back from vacation with his family, he's going to love the name. So he's going to be back here pretty soon. Shout out to everybody again. And if it wasn't for you, technically it's not even my podcast. It's your podcast. It's not even mine. You guys made it what it is. You guys made it so special. You know, it's you. And I shout out, I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of all my guests, whether they've been on there once, twice, 3 times, or they're recurring members. I'm proud of everybody for coming through and making the podcast what it is, you know. I'm going to give a major shout out to my boy Jack. He's the one who threw out the idea that I would do it. And who would have knew that idea would turn to something so much bigger. So thank you to him for that. But obviously we're here for another reason. Obviously, a lot of people are probably looking like, where's the PlayStation news, Ryan? I figured I wouldn't do the PlayStation news right now because a lot of people really ask me this question a lot, and I figured I want to answer this question in the best way I possibly can. Okay? To make it short and sweet, no, I am not biased towards Sony. We called out Sony a lot yesterday on a lot of things they've done, like increasing the PlayStation Plus subscription for Europe and the UK and a few other areas. Basically, the price of that has been increased to $60 to basically be on par with the US. So that has been officially confirmed on PlayStation News that I did yesterday. I'm not a big fan of that, but at the same time, they got to make money back from what they've done in terms of security and vice versa. And that's understandable, but they also need to cut, I think they need to cut the PlayStation 3 servers. I've said this and a lot of people agree. They need to cut those servers off and just do something better. But I'm going to cover that in another video because I got to do another video on that because I have a very nice theory I would like to do. Or not theory, but a nice little idea that I want to throw around for Sony. So, as far as me being biased towards Sony, no, I am not. And I'm going to go ahead and explain that very simple. Let's go ahead and just get into it real quick. A lot of people might ask, well, I know you did Nintendo news. Why'd you stop Nintendo news? People like WeLover07 is the reason why I don't do Nintendo news anymore. I just stopped. Nintendo fanboys, Nintendo fans in general, are just so ignorant to the point where I don't even want to cover it anymore. I kid you not. I covered Nintendo news, and don't get me wrong, I had a decent response to the Nintendo news. I had a decent response. I had people looking forward to it, saying, hey, look, good job. Hey, thanks for covering this. I want somebody to do this for a long time. And I had no problem doing it. I was having somewhat fun doing it. But then I would get messages in my comments that are saying, you're an idiot. This is stupid. You're just doing this for views. And then I'll get some idiots talk about other shit that I don't care about. I don't care about. Saying stuff like, oh yeah, you should talk about this because you don't know this. I'm like, listen, before I block you, I don't play Nintendo. I'm just giving you the news that I see. I don't care. You notice how I'm more insightful with Sony and Microsoft than I am Nintendo because I haven't owned a Nintendo product in years. Haven't owned one in years. Yes, I bought the Nintendo Switch, and yes, I bought it day one, I think. I think it was day one I bought it with Breath of the Wild. That was one of my first videos I posted on YouTube as of late. I posted that a long time ago. But the thing is, I gave it to my girlfriend. I don't have a use for it. It is a trash system in other ways. Yeah, it's got some nice games, got some decent games, but it's just not a console that I'm going to get behind and play for a long time. Now, my boy MVP Magazine, he likes his a lot. You know, he bought the Splatoon controllers and Pro controller and all that jazz, and good for him. He's enjoying it, but, you know, I'm not going to hate on him for enjoying it. No, I'm all for that. If he's having fun with the game and the console, I'm all for that. But I'm not going to lie to myself and say that, oh, yeah, Nintendo is great, because they are not. They are nowhere near great. Nowhere near it. And that's why you don't see Nintendo news on the channel. That's why Nintendo news has pretty much been, yeah. Microsoft, now, I would cover Microsoft news, especially if a lot of people ask me to do it. I would cover it. The thing about Microsoft news is, though, it would be hard to find news from Microsoft because there's really nothing to really talk about on Microsoft. And it would become like, it would be like I'm trying to talk like crap gamer in a way. Because most of the stuff that Ever has like you talking about is involving power. And it's like, oh yeah, this game will be 4K, true 4K 30 on Xbox One X, and like dynamic 4K 30 on PS4 Pro. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And I'm not about to do that. That's stupid. I don't care. I'd rather have games. Why am I talking about games that we've already played? Why am I talking about games that are not even exclusive? You know, I'm not into that for Microsoft. I'm just not. I'm not. Now, Sony, on the other hand, it's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. There's always, every day I get on the PlayStation universe, there's always a new game being announced. There's new exclusives coming. There's new Western games coming. There's just so much stuff being talked about, and so many moves being made towards Sony and vice versa, to the point where I want to cover it. I would cover Microsoft if there was something to talk about. Don't get me wrong. I would cover that if there was something to talk about. The bottom line is there simply hasn't been nothing for me to talk about. And that's just the God honest truth. It's God honest truth. Some people might hate me for it, but I'm just being honest with you. Being completely honest with you. And let's go ahead and get into this real quick. If we look back, we'll look back at a few things. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo used to be the top dog and all that. Look at them now. They're a shell of themselves. Can't get third-party support. Got retards like We Lover making damage control videos trying to justify himself. Yeah. Moving on to Microsoft. Microsoft first came out with the Xbox Original. It was a fish fresh out the water, basically. Getting their feet wet in the console market. They did okay. They didn't sell amazing, but they did okay. I thought they did okay. I had an original Xbox before I bought a PS2. So that should tell you something about me, guys. Should tell you something about me. I bought an original Xbox One, the original, before I got a PS2. And on the Xbox Original, I had so many games. I had House of the Dead when I had the original light guns. You know, you shoot at your TV with the light guns, you shoot off the way, or shoot off to the screen, kind of mimic the arcade. I had those. I had Jet Set Radio Future, Dead or Alive 3. There were so many games I had on Xbox, and I enjoyed myself. Marvel vs. Capcom, I enjoyed myself. I really did. I really enjoyed myself. There was no denying that I had fun. Back then. I had so much fun. Had so many games, had so much fun. And I went and got a PS2 because, there was just a lot of other games that I wanted to play, and I just couldn't play them because Microsoft wasn't getting them. So I asked my mom, hey, look, can I get a PS2? She's like, yeah, I'll get you a PS2. Got a PS2. And my library of games, I kid you not. I had a bunch of stack of games, obviously, for Xbox, green case, blue case. Or no, green case and clear case at that time. I kid you not. There was so many damn PS2 games to the point where it not only overthrew my Xbox games, it got to the point where I was just like shocked, like, wow. There were so many PS2 games. It was unreal how many PS2 games there were. Unreal. And that ended up beating Microsoft. Microsoft was the strongest console that generation. And Sony won. Sony won. And what do you guys see? What do you guys see happening now with the PS4? Now that we're talking about Sony, what do we see happening with the PS4? The PS4 is officially underpowered to the Xbox One X. True, it was already underpowered to the Xbox One X. The PS4 Pro was never marketed as a 4K beast. Never did Sony say 4K 60 uncompromised. Never did they say breaking barriers. No, they said HDR. 4K enhancements due to upscaling. That's it. Yeah, you'll get a slight boost mode because they have a nicer GPU. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. As far as that's concerned, Microsoft, they got the power. They got the world's most strongest console. But you mean to tell me the world's strongest console can't run these games at 4K 60 like it was hyped? That's where, I come in. I just call it out like it is, man. All that hype just crashed and burned. And all that hype led the Xbox One X in the long run just being, yeah. So, really, there's just not much for me to say in that regard. Sure, I can wait down the line. Sure, I can wait down the line. But by the time Microsoft gets some true exclusives for this system, the PlayStation 5 will already be on the horizon and get ready to come out. 2020 is the year of the PlayStation 5. 2019, we're going to see the banner for PlayStation 5. It is what it is, guys. Sony's not dumb to release it in 2019. I don't think they're going to do that. 2020 is what's going to happen. You know? And that's just the reality of the situation. It's reality. Some people might not like me for it, but I'm being real with you. I'm not biased towards anything. I tell it like it is, man. If Microsoft had good news, I would talk about it. If Sony had good news, I would talk about it. If Sony screws up, I will definitely talk about that and vice versa. I've talked about Sony screwing up. Hell, even on the podcast, I've talked about it. Yeah, last night, we watched the podcast. We talked about that. So, there you go. No one's catering to anything, you know? And that's just a quick little heads up. I don't want to ramble too much. I really don't. You know, I really don't want to ramble too much. But that's much I can explain it to you. It's the best I can explain it to you. No, I'm not catering to any side. I'm just going where the games are. And the games happen to be on Sony's side. Microsoft, they're just not on that side. They're not on that side. Nintendo, it's Nintendo. You like Nintendo, you like Nintendo. And that's that. That's really that, man. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. This isn't a diss video. This is me addressing a small concern that a lot of people ask me all the time. Like, hey, look, do you even like Microsoft? Do you like Nintendo? Do you like Sony? I like all three. But at the same time, as a gamer, as a consumer, I want the best out of all three. I want the best out of Phil Spencer to push him to give us Xbox, gamers and Xbox fans in general, the right exclusives and the right content. And I want the best out of Sony to give us the best exclusives. Sony's already proven that they got that. So I have no reason to hate on that. But Microsoft and Nintendo, different story. Different story. And that's just how it is, man. It's how it is. Some people can be in denial and don't want to accept it. Hey, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept it. But you're going to have to deal with it. And some people just hate me because they claim I'm just a douche about how I go about it. Well, I'm sorry, but when I hear the same thing for the past year and going on past a year saying like, oh yeah, our game's going to be 4K 60 uncompromised and your games are trash. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you have exclusive. We got 4K 60. When I heard that for over a damn year and then the generation, or I'm sorry, we get to the actual console and they can't even do that, and we get to our content and we just see we have games. I can't help but laugh. I mean, I sure just can't help but I just can't help but do that. Basically, I can't help but do that. It's just that serious. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this clears a good chunk of this up. It's gonna be interesting to see the like and dislike ratio. That's gonna be interesting. But that's it. That's it, man. I'll see you guys later. You guys be good. And I'll see you guys later. Deuces.